Hi guys, I'm getting a lot of questions about the cell analogy assignment. It's 2.10, 2.10. And when you open this up, it gives you a chart. And the chart has the cell's organelles, the functions. You have to fill this out, functions and characteristic. And then what are you going to compare it to? So an analogy is when you compare it to something else. So something to just help you remember it. So if you look at, good idea is to look at the rubric. And it says that you need to be able to demonstrate sufficient use of keywords. And it's so you can illustrate that you understand. It says illustrate comprehension. So you're understanding what these words mean and you're making connections. So that's really important that you do that. So when you're picking something to make it an analogy with, pick something that might have the same kinds of jobs or whatever. But then at the end of this, let me enable this so it'll look better. So it's got this big chart, and then you write the analogy story. So the way to write the story is, geez, be creative. I mean, if I'm going to write the analogy, like my analogy is that this cell reminds me of the zoo or whatever, and you just pick the parts out that fit for each of the organelles. So you, first of all, you have to pick which kind of cell are you going to compare with. So you're going to use prokaryotic or eukaryotic, whatever kind you want. And so then let's say you're going to do a eukaryotic plant cell or a eukaryotic animal cell. By the way, I put a slideshow up in the announcements too that you can look through, and it might help you with the different kinds of organelles, and maybe it'll simplify it, but take a look at the announcements. So you go through and you just say, the nucleus and its function and what's it comparable to in your analogy. So if you're picking the zoo or you're picking a school, like if you're picking your school, what part of your school is comparable to the nucleus? Well, maybe it's the office, the school's office. And you can say why it's compared to. So what does the nucleus do that the office does? What is its job? It's the brains, it's the operation, it makes everything run. So you can compare it to whatever. So just pick something to compare it to. Then you get to use your creativity. So down here, when you're writing the story, write like you're going through if you pick the school, you're walking through the school and you're seeing like, oh, here's the nucleus and this is what it's doing. And, you could even name the nucleus. Like you could name it with whoever your principal is and say, oh, this is principal so-and-so and they are the nucleus and this is why. And you're showing me that you understand what the nucleus is and you're comparing it to the school or whatever thing you're choosing to make an analogy with. But don't forget to write the story. Okay? Good job. Thank you.